Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for joining me in the Empress Club, Book 3, Checkmate. We're on Chapter 5, Manners and Respect. Just saw a real life example of the purpose for respect. For a big grown man to respect the road signs. And that just brought to mind where one of my nephew's friends, like whenever my nephew wants somewhere to go, he'd want his friends to go, so I would pick them up and take them. Now they all make fun of me because I drive slow. And I always correct them, no, I don't drive slow. I obey the speed limit. There's a reason there's a speed limit on the road. I obey the speed limit because there has to be a reason. I found out that building roads is a science. So that piqued my interest. I was reading a David Baldacci book. I can't remember which one. Oh, his book's awesome, gentlemen. And what got me into is Absolute Power. Absolute Power. That's an awesome book to read. I got it from watching the movie. When I realized it was a book, I had to get it. I read that book 3 times, people. Anyway. So, when my nephew's friend got his license, he was speeding and he couldn't brake in time and he ran the light. And guess whose car was to go next? So he almost ran into me. And then when he saw me, his eyes popped open. And I just did that. And I went on. And I saw when he hit the driver's wheel, he probably thought I would have called his mother because he's driving his mother's car. Anyway, long story short, I waited until I got him by himself because now he's 17, 18 years old. So I'm not going to go to his mother. I went to him. And I told him, you almost lost control of that car. Why? Because he was speeding. The road is built for you to make turns at a certain speed. Now, because I know people don't respect the road, I don't drive off right away when the light turns green. Same reason. Because I know people on the road that have no discipline and no respect for the rules of the road. So I told him, that's why I drive at the speed limit. Because I understand cars. I understand the power of cars. Now, he couldn't stop in time because he was going too fast. And he had to make a turn. And I told him, you in college, but before then, you're supposed to understand how the laws of physics apply to objects going straight and then having to make a turn. You can cause the car to spin out of control. You could have hurt someone. You could have killed someone. Now, did he listen? I don't know. But he couldn't respond to me the way this gentleman did, who didn't obey the speed, the traffic sign, because he knew he was 4 years old, how I drive. I obey the speed line, the rules of the road, and I respect them. So he couldn't throw anything in my face as far as how I drive. And everyone who knows me knows I don't drive reckless. Now, when I'm ready to get my speed demon on, I go to a designated place built for that, and I act the fool. Sometimes I hit 90 miles, sometimes 120. But it's not on the road where I can hurt someone. I go someplace designated for that. Well, anyway, that right there is an example of why conducting yourself in a certain way so that you as a mom and you have to talk to young men, you command their respect. They can't say, well, I don't have to do what you say because I see you doing it. And I heard seeing children tell their parents this. And I'm like, look at that, you give your power away. The price of discipline is nothing compared to commanding the respect of your children. Now, could you imagine if I was breaking the speed limit, running the stop sign, running the red light? I couldn't talk to the young man. Because he's going to say, well, you do it. Gentlemen, that's why in the Empress Club, discipline and self-control is a way of life. But that's a side note to manners and respect. Now, but then that's the importance of it. By conducting yourself in a respectable manner, you can command respect from others. But anyway, manners and respect. Now, I was taught that manners and respect would take you through the world. And it became a way of life for me because that's what I was taught at home, at school, at church, at work, and in the wider community. Manners and respect. Have respect for your elders especially, and for each other, and more importantly, for yourself. Then I was taught to mind my manners. And I remember my junior high science teacher said that mind your manners because you may close doors you didn't know that were there to be open just because you're rude. Now at the time, I'm in 8th grade, I didn't understand that. Like, why? How could I close doors that I didn't even know were there to be open? And then if I didn't know it was there to be open, why would I care? Of course, that's what I was thinking. I didn't say it to the teacher now. Because we taught manners and respect. This is my teacher, and this is an adult. So I asked the question in a clever way. The teacher said that she answered the question in a real clever way, right? But in essence, what she said, if you had $1 million and you can't put it in the bank, who would you trust with it until you can? If you have to go away when you can't put the money in the bank, who would you trust to hold it? And I was like, oh my God, that's a good question. And so she was saying that that's how opportunities are. See, and she said, when people don't know you, they have to watch you. So she said, you may be getting, someone may have $1 million opportunity they would like to bless someone with, but if they don't know you, they have to go by your actions. So if you're rude and disrespectful, the person may not be inclined to open that door for you. So you don't even know you missed an opportunity of a lifetime. So that's why I mind my P's and my Q's and I'm respectful. Because what she said is so true. I remember my sister, the one who said practice makes permanent, she got her first job without even having to apply for the job or go in an interview. Because in college, one of her professor's brothers had a business and he always had to be away from the business. And he'd ask her, is there a student in your class that can manage this business while I'm gone, that's not going to mess with my money, that's going to do the job, they're not going to slack off because I'm not there. So that door was open, but my sister didn't know about it. But because we were taught manners and respect, and to conduct ourselves in a manner that commands respect, she got an opportunity. Just like that. The door opened for her that she did not even know was there. So gentlemen, if you don't see the necessity for manners and respect, look at the practical nature of it. Do not close doors on yourself that you don't even know are there to be open. If only for that reason, mind your manners and respect your elders. And you know what's amazing? I did it just because that's what I was taught. Now I'm an elder. And the reason when I realized I'm an elder, one of the young men that, you know, when I take my niece and nephews on the park, him and his brothers will come along also. Because then I'd usually have a basketball, a football, and a soccer, depending on what they want to do. Anything to tie them out so they can go to sleep, and then I could go and get my work done after work. So, fast forward 15 years, we were playing basketball with the same guys, and I bumped into one of the boys, and he was like, "Grandpa, you strong." I said, "Grandpa, the same year, Gramps?" And I'm like, oh my God. Excuse me. He called me Grandpa. Then I realized, yeah, I'm 40 plus years old. So to him, well, I mean, he shouldn't call me Grandpa, but anyway, to him, I'm Grandpa. Then I realized, oh my God, I'm an elder. And I realized why you must respect your elders. Because look at this Empress Club. This was meant for the children of my family. But now I'm sharing it with others. And I realized that my advance in thinking came about because of the older people, mostly older men, who shared their wisdom with me. So even though I was a certain age and birthdays, mentally I was years ahead, older than I was chronologically. Because I had manners and respect. Excuse me. The gentlemen, they were more than willing either to teach me what they know, lend me their books, give me their books, point me in the right direction, and things I would like to learn about. Like with the history, especially with history, they would point in the right direction, tell me which books to read, who else to go to speak to. They'll introduce me to their other friends, and then I would get another wealth of information and another resource person because I had manners and respect. I'm looking at something. Oh yeah, I gotta tell you the story about manners and respect and the old man. Now, it was this old man I met in New York. You know, he looked like a bum, but anyway, since I was taught manners and respect, you acknowledge people's existence. So I said, "Good evening, sir. How you doing?" So he looked at me. Listen, what did you say? Yes, I said, "Good evening, sir. How you doing?" Listen, all right. So we struck up a conversation, and he wanted to know how old I was. I was probably 25 back then. So he said, "Oh, you actually have manners and respect." And so I told him that's how I was raised. Anyway, long story short, we got to talking. And I found out that this man that looked like a bum was no bum. That's just how he dressed. And the reason he dressed that way was because he was a horse trainer. And so we got to talking. And I asked him, what's the difference between two horses that look identical? Why is one worth 600,000 and one 60 million? So, he said, well, it depends on the horse's father. I said, that's it? So, yeah, if the horse's father is a champion thoroughbred, the value of that horse skyrockets. I said, oh. So I said, what about the mother? He said, well, the mother really doesn't factor in unless she's a championship. She wins the races. If she's a winner and he's a winner, then you get a $60 million horse. But if the father is a winner, the value goes up, regardless to who the mother is. But if you mix championship horse, mother and father, you get an expensive horse. I was like, oh. So I was intrigued because I was wondering, well, these horses look the same. Why is one 600 grand, the other one 60 million? So he asked me if I want to come down to his farm because he has a place where he has his own horses and he breeds horses from all over the world because he lives in Florida and Ocala. I said, oh, okay. So I went down. Oh, Arabian horses are beautiful, gentlemen. Now, I'm afraid of horses, but Arabian horses are majestic. I would have gotten into horse trading and horse training just to own one. Of course, I ain't spent 60 million on a horse. So I just enjoyed looking at the horse. I went on the farm. I learned a lot about why. Because I'd ask him, hey, why are people trusting you? No offense, sir, but why are people trusting you with $60 million horses? And he said, because of the limestone content in Ocala, Florida. And he has a huge compound. And the calcium in the limestone makes the horse's bones strong, which makes them more faster. Oh. Now, my point of this story was, I didn't pay for the ride, I didn't pay for the hotel. Just with the manners and respect. I learned something new. I got a question answered that was puzzling me. I got a free ride. I got to see the most beautiful horses in the world, even though I was afraid of them, but he would hold them and let me pet it, which was terrifying. But I did it anyway, because I was taught to do the thing you fail. So I was able to get over my fear of horses. Still won't ride one. I did ride a horse. That was the most terrifying thing in the world. But once I got over that, the fear is gone, but I still won't ride a horse. Anyway, the point is, just out of having manners and respect, I got introduced to a brand new world. Not that I'm going to be into horses now, but just that. As simple as acknowledging that man's existence. That's how serious manners and respect is, gentlemen. And like I was taught, manners and respect takes you around the world. That means it opens doors for you. Now imagine if I was into horse breeding. As simple as telling them, acknowledging the man's existence and wishing him a good morning. I would have gotten an in into horse breeding with one of the top horse breeders in the world, or trainers. As simple as having manners and respect. On another incident, I got myself into an industry just of manners and respect alone. I got into the industry where, in the least, you had to spend over $250,000 on your education to get an internship. And because of manners and respect, I walk right in the door. Gentlemen, having manners and respect is serious business. I didn't tell you be a kiss up. Just mind your manners and have respect. You don't know who you're talking to. I remember Mike Murdoch said, you're 4 people away from changing your life forever. So watch yourself when you're dealing with people. Don't judge anyone, and you don't determine anyone's value. Manners and respect. Like I said, you don't have to kiss up. Mind your manners and have respect. You'll be amazed at how far you go. Like for me, for the opportunity I got, I saved $250,000 on my schooling, saved 6 years of schooling, and I walked right in the door. I'm not going to mention it because it's something I'm taking advantage of. So until it bears fruit, I won't speak on it. Well, anyway, gentlemen, you've got to have manners and respect. Especially in the Empress Club, because, gentlemen, even though you're young now, like me, when I was taught to be an elder, I found out, unbeknownst to me, that I'm an elder. So you've got to conduct yourself in a manner that commands respect. In addition to that, you must mind your manners and have respect when dealing with people, because you don't know who you're talking to. And I have a story, but that involves something I'm working on, so I don't want to jinx it by talking it. But I was looking into something, and I was saying, if I get that opportunity, I will seize it by the throat and shake it to death. And you know how I got it? Some gentleman hit my car. Now, I didn't freak out because I don't worship cars. Now, once I got out of the car, I didn't freak out. He apologized and all that. I mean, hey, relax. Everyone in there, okay. Now, he said he took his eyes off the road because his child in the back seat started choking. So I said, oh, you don't get to worry about calling the police and all that. Just make sure the baby okay. Boom, bang, boom. The baby was all right. I think it was biting on his nipple. Pacifier bit off a piece and swallowed it. Guess who that man knows? The very same person I would like to get in contact with. Just like that. I'm trying to find a way how to get in contact with this man. Just by conducting myself in a civilized manner and being respectful and find out what happened first. This man knows the person I'm trying to find. Now, after we talked for a while, excuse me, and he found, he asked what I was doing, what I do, and I told him, and he's like, "Oh, I know Joe Blow. And when I get a chance, I can put in a word for you." Now, it's been 5 years, it was just talk, but I just love how it happened. Here I am for 5 years, trying to figure out how am I going to get this person to work for me. They're here, I'm here. There's a big gulf between us. How do I get this person, how do I get to work with this person? There are no accidents in the world, gentlemen. There's no coincidence. That's been 5 years. I didn't get upset because I know what life is. And I used, like I said before, don't serve time, let time serve you. What I've been doing the last 5 years was mastering my craft. Excuse me. So when I do meet this person, I have been spending the last 5 years polishing my products. So now, I hope now that when we do bump into each other, that the last 5 years paid off, that my stuff is so well presented and well done, that we could do business for a long period of time. Well, anyway, gentlemen, I just wanted to let you know, manners and respect are going to take you through the world. Mind your manners. Do not close doors on yourself that you do not even know that are there to be open for you. Manners and respect are going to give you opportunities of a lifetime, gentlemen. Believe me, I lived it. I was taught this, then I experienced it. Mind your manners, gentlemen. Anyway, gentlemen, I gotta go. I will catch you on the flip side in chapter 6, entitled Bond, James Bond. There's a lot to be learned from James Bond. I love James Bond. I approach my life the same way James Bond did. And I can teach it to you, gentlemen, when I get back. Catch you on the flip side, gentlemen. Over and out. Don't forget, less is more. We only need 10 of us.